Latino pride is everywhere in Los Angeles. Many Mexican Americans calling themselves Chicanos, 100% pure-blooded Mexican American Chicano. And many say when a new film, El Chicano, came out, they were blown away. A first-of-its-kind Latino superhero movie. Many Chicanos lining up to buy tickets, particularly because of the all-Latino cast of El Chicano that came out on the red carpet on opening night. Some of Hollywood's biggest Latino stars, celebrating the first ever superhero movie made with all Latino actors. A big deal. Latino moviegoers could hardly wait to see El Chicano. The movie begins in the gang-plagued barrio of East Los Angeles. LA police officers warn gangsters that killers in the barrio will face the wrath of a motorcycle-riding vigilante, a masked avenger called El Chicano, who hunts down murderers in deadly fashion.
El Chicano, the ghetto Grim Reaper.
A wise man warns kids here gang life has consequences.
Bad things happen when the sky turns black.
The masked superhero Avenger El Chicano is by day Mexican-American LA police officer Diego Hernandez, out for revenge after losing his brother to gang violence. At night he transforms into El Chicano, armed with an Aztec knife. That's his calling card weapon of choice. First softening up bad guys with a martial arts beating. He'll do gunfights too. The bad guys in this movie, members of a drug cartel from Mexico attempting to take over LA. El Chicano gives dark new meaning to the term superhero during his deadly good versus evil battle with the Mexican drug gang. Latino moviegoers who've been showing up for the film say they've never seen anything like it.
A Latino movie like that to represent us, represent the barrio, like, it was just dope. It was just amazing.
Tracking down the perpetrators and prevailing in a brutal gun battle.
Amazing.
What did you like about it?
It broke away from others and it showed real life problems.
You can't get away with everything. You know, there's always going to be a shot of redemption.
It was really awesome to see a bunch of Latinos and Latinas in it.
And what was the message?
Good is good and bad is bad.
Latinos particularly pleased that an all-Latino cast starred in the movie.
Well, it's about time they did a movie that all about Latinos.
And the director of El Chicano is Mexican-American Ben Hernandez Bray, who tells me the inspiration for the film came from the tall young man next to him in this photo, his kid brother Craig, who lost his life to gang violence.
The whole premise, the idea of El Chicano came from losing a brother to gang violence. My youngest brother, you know, he just, the street life just sucked him in, you know, and it was really tough. And it happens to a lot of kids.
So Hernandez Bray says he set out to make a film that mirrored the raw reality of fighting to survive in the barrio of East Los Angeles today. He made El Chicano against all odds because he says no Hollywood film studio would finance an all-Latino movie. He says making El Chicano, like the fighting in the movie, was a war just to get El Chicano financed. For help, he turned to his friend, Hollywood producer Joe Carnahan, and actor-producer Frank Grillo, and their company, War Party Films. Carnahan, known for producing hit movies like Smokin' Aces with actor Ben Affleck, and The Gray with Liam Neeson, about fighting off wolves to survive. To get financing for El Chicano, Carnahan found a team of Canadian investors. After Hollywood studios, he says, refused to fund El Chicano because there was no white movie star in the film.
Well, you know, you're up against a very entrenched idea in Hollywood that, you know, you need the quote-unquote Caucasian influence is what we heard. You know, a white guy in there, which just would have felt wrong for what we were doing.
Historically, going back decades, the casting of predominantly white actors in superhero movies by Hollywood film studios has been the norm. Today, film scholars on race and diversity in Hollywood say people of color remain vastly underrepresented on the big screen, says Ben Lopez of the National Association of Latino Independent Producers.
We are definitely underrepresented, grossly underrepresented. Hollywood hires themselves. And if the majority happens to be of a particular background, in this case, it's usually Anglo, and their perspective, they will always gravitate towards the stories that they're familiar with, and they usually gravitate in hiring the same people coming from the same backgrounds that they're familiar with.
He says the negative impact of Hollywood casting overwhelmingly white actors has Latino moviegoers not seeing themselves enough in movies. That's taking a toll.
It really affects the psyche of an entire people. Not seeing yourself in a movie, it does have a deep emotional effect in the consciousness of people, and this especially young generation growing up.
Lopez says the lack of Latino actors and filmmakers is all the more troubling considering Latino citizens in the United States, 60 million of them, are among the biggest block of moviegoers, accounting for 25% of all ticket sales, a staggering $4 billion worth annually. Latinos who drive up sales behind some of Hollywood's most successful box office hits, like Avengers Endgame.
Let's hear it for the cast and filmmakers of Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame.
That budget-wise benefited greatly from Hollywood financing, a whopping $350 million to make the movie. By comparison, El Chicano had a $7 million budget. Financed by fearless Canadian investors from Calgary, Alberta, equating taking on Hollywood to a good hockey brawl on home ice.
Boy, I'll tell you, welcome to the Battle of Alberta.
When it came to marketing Avengers Endgame, Hollywood spent almost $500 million more to announce the movie. El Chicano had no such luxury, relying mostly on social media and word of mouth. And not helping El Chicano have been Hollywood film critics calling the film too violent, that it stereotypes Mexican Americans and Mexican nationals as criminals, and that it's too political. For example, this scene when a Mexican cartel boss tells captured LA police officers that it's payback time in part for the United States claiming half of Mexico 170 years ago.
170 años de opresión de mi pueblo. No lo robaron. El extranjero es el gringo.
A line of dialogue that resonates with many Mexican Americans on the streets of East Los Angeles, like college student Axel Islas.
Since Americans, like now, well, especially not to be offensive, but white people, they now say how this is their land, when in reality our ancestors has been here for many centuries, and how we were just ripped off out of our land, like out of violence.
It's very important. It's very important to remember that you know, part of the United States belonged to us, belonged to the Mexicanos.
Hernandez Bray says superhero El Chicano represents honor in the Latino culture, something he says that Hollywood studio bosses could not seem to grasp as they rejected financing for El Chicano.
One of the things I was asked was, what was his superpowers? And I would say, his heart. his family, his culture, those are his superpowers. His core being is about his community, his love, his passion for the Latin people. That's his powers.
Hernandez-Bray says what's important about the film ultimately is the all-Latino cast agreeing to make the film, and under such a tight budget. Beginning with star Raul Castillo.
For a Mexican-American.
So Raul Castillo is incredible. He's my Diego, he's my superhero. He's El Chicano. He was a true blessing to find him.
And there is actor George Lopez, otherwise famous in the U.S. as a Mexican-American comedian, who in El Chicano convincingly plays a serious veteran L.A. cop, Captain Gomez, delivering the film's ultimate message when he tells cop Diego Hernandez that law and order is the right way, not violence as a vigilante.
Like this. Not like that.
If my brother was here right now and he would ask me, how did it go, how did the movie go? I said, listen, you'd be proud. You'd be very proud. It represented our family, represented him.
Producer Joe Carnahan, who makes a cameo appearance in El Chicano as an FBI agent,
so we're going to interview all your first responders,
has been hailed a courageous ally of the Latino film community for putting his credibility on the line to get El Chicano made.
And if it wasn't for allies like Carnahan and other people like that are dedicated to bringing this type of stories, it would have never happened.
I think it's a tremendous achievement, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of kind of us taking the first in what will hopefully be a number of big swings by that community to try to get their stories told.
El Chicano fans already encouraging Ben Hernandez-Bray and Joe Carnahan to start working on an El Chicano sequel.
Keep doing whatever you guys did, and I hope you guys continue with the second part. It's dope.
It's great. There you go. That's all I need. It was dope. It's all I need. I love it, man.
It's going to even be more doper when he sees what we're going to do on the second one.
The question is, if there is a sequel, will it be financed this next time around by Hollywood? Stay tuned.